this is Finish It Friday. I'm in a little bit different setting here. I'm in my house. I have my long arm behind me, which has a little creation, a big creation actually, of marks that you're getting a little bit of a sneak peek of. Hope he doesn't get mad. But you should be seeing a video from his channel either also today or maybe Saturday of this week. And it's a scrap buster. That's what you love, scrap busters, right? So he's got one for you. He made up a little pattern and made this big giant quilt using some of my scraps. And I was happy about that. So this week, I didn't get a whole lot finished because of concentrating so much on getting the Sew Yeah Challenge quilt done. And it is done. It's quilted, it's bound, it's ready for pictures. If it would ever stop raining, I would really like to get some pictures outdoors for it. And I think I've got exactly a week to get my pictures in. So it may become an indoor thing. I know the lighting is a little weird in here. It is in the evening on Thursday, and you know, there's no natural light. I've just got one of our lights we use for filming that I'm having shine towards me so that you can at least not see a dark figure. So apologize for that, but that's what we're dealing with right now. Lots and lots of rain and storms today. Well, all week really, off and on, but today especially. So I did get cut out the 2 blockheads blocks that I need to do, last week's and this week's, but I have not sewn them up yet. I did finish one of the embroidery blocks from the bloom panel. It was the rest of the one I showed you last time. So I think I had half of it done and I finished that up. But that's about it. I did long arm this project for Mark today, even amidst the storms, which you're not supposed to do with your long arm. But the weather was really nice when I started out this morning, but by the time I got finished with the quilt, I was dodging thunder and lightning. So I just went ahead and took a chance and finished it up, and everything worked out okay. Thank goodness. So now let's go ahead and get into your finishes this week. We've got 10 people that we want to share photos of, and I think you'll enjoy the show as usual. Our first one comes from Janice, and she says she just finished the quilted scarecrow. It's a Lori Hope pattern, but she made some changes to readjust the size, and it's going to a friend. And this is very cute, a very cute fall quilt. And what do you see on there that I would love? That crow. Love that crow. And I also like the milk can down there with the star on it. That's pretty cool. So good job getting your fall quilt ready for your friend. She's going to enjoy this year very soon. The next one we have is from EP. Don't remember if your name is Eleanor, Ellen, or Elaine. It's something of the sort, but your last name starts with a W. So EP. You didn't have it in this particular email, so I have forgotten what your first name is. You say this is a UFO that you finally finished, and it's from a pattern called Barbed Wire Fence Quilt by Kathy Wiersbicky. And she says, I probably saw the quilt on Pinterest, but there was no pattern. It just said that it was made from a Bali Pop jelly roll called Watermelon. I searched a long time and finally found the pattern, but it was harder to find the jelly roll. I love the batik backing, and the quilting mimics it. Anyway, many years later, it's finished. Back in the dark ages, I was a cheerleader before short skirts and gymnastics. We had a chant at football games, watermelon, watermelon, watermelon rind. Look at the scoreboard and see who's behind. So I decided to call the quilt Scoreboard. I love stories like that. Beautiful pinks and greens, some of my favorite colors. And you've got a nice fern, maybe tropical leaf design on the batik for the backing. That's just perfect. And yeah, it does remind me of watermelon too, those colors. Very nice. Taylor has two finishes for us. The first one is her heart quilt. She finished this earlier this year, but she just now got around to taking the pictures. It's called Scrappy Hearts 2 by Emily Dennis, and her friend Melissa long-armed it. And you said, I believe the Pantone is Russian Flame, and you wanted it to look like burning hearts. Yeah, I think you accomplished that. Pretty cool. I like it. And I like the picture with your kitty cat on the bed, on the quilt. Perfect. Perfect. Ha ha. The second one that she has here is a Scrappy Checkers pattern by Mojave Farms. And she made this as a gift for her friend Emma. And she used fabric from her stash or that she got from her mother or an estate sale. And she made her own label for it by doing screen printing, and it came out good. Very nice also. I love the browns and the deep golds and greens that are in this one, as well as the Irish chain design that runs through it. Very pretty quilts you've put together here. Thanks for sending in, Taylor. I don't think we've had you before. And Taylor says she loved finding the channel. It's helped her so much, and she loves watching the videos, especially Finish It Friday, to get inspiration and motivation to finish my quilts. Well, great. That's exactly the outcome that I'm after with these videos. Motivate other people to quilt. The next one is from Monica. She said she had this panel for a while, but just was uninspired in how to use it. And then came along Mark's pattern, Astro Journey. So she said fabric calculations revealed there was not enough of the dark caramel yellow to do the hunter's stars. So she just left them out. And I think that really made a cool looking quilt. And she said she's pleased with the final result and that I didn't crumble and resort to buying more fabric. Yeah, because you know what? If you had put those hunter stars in there, we wouldn't see that beautiful long arming that was done in the black areas. And I think this pattern turned out perfect for that bee themed or honey themed panel. It looks great. I showed this to Mark and he thought it looked great too. He said, hey, that looks really good without the hunter stars. So I have to agree. Great job. Pam sent in one. She said this is a block that she did, a rail fence that was a block of the month for July in the local Quilt Guild's newsletter. And she made this pillow cover to go with a pink floral quilt that will be gifted to a good friend who recently lost a loved one. And she says she's enjoying the Friday finishes so much. Thanks to everyone for the eye candy every week. Yes, I agree, Pam. Thank you, everyone. So this will accompany a quilt that she's already made that she's going to gift. So that's a nice plus. Put a pillow form in there and have a set on the bed. Perfect. Gloria, you are the one I was asking about that I lost your email. I'm so happy that you sent it again. I apologize for the mix-up, but I love this. She says this was started in 2024, but it's a recent finish. It's based on a pattern called Trellis, and she loves the large flowers by Kaif, and that's what she used on this. And it really did that pattern justice. I love it too. And it was quilted by Missouri Star. So great job, Gloria. I love how you did the borders around the edges and the large flowers too. And then there's a hint of some aqua and some purple in there. I like that too. Next we have Suzanne. And she says, if you can accept any more photos of Pick and Mix, then here is mine using French General pieces that I was given. Well, of course, I want to see all of the photos of Pick and Mix, so I'm so glad you sent yours, Suzanne. Moda has a line of fabric called French General. It's a certain design company or team or whatever. It looks really, really good in the pick and mix pattern. And she says it will be a comfort quilt for IU Trauma Center in Indianapolis. And she says she didn't have enough fabric for the secondary design, but it still turned out nice. Yes, it did. You managed to get 2 of the shoe fly blocks there around the center area, well placed for having to decide, where you were going to do that. That was perfect. And yes, you can definitely, leave that secondary design out if you want to, and just do the blocks as they are without the stitch and flip corners. So good job here on showing that. And Suzanne, I believe we met a couple of years ago at Paducah, did we not? You and your friend. It may be a different Suzanne, but I think you're the one. The next one we have is from Terry from Ohio. And she says, I recently completed this quilt and entered it in our county fair. It was quite the challenge, but I was so happy to use various fabrics that have been in quilts I've made for my grandchildren. She has 10 grandchildren. And her quilt earned best of class. Yay, good for you. Congratulations. Please keep doing all you do. I enjoy watching your videos. Thank you, Terry. And this is the sew along that we did here last year, right? I don't know if you did this with us, Terry, or you were doing this on your own. But your quilt turned out wonderful. I love the berry colors that you used in there. Looks really good with all the yellows and the other colors that you pulled together for the quilt. Looks great. Feels good to get those scraps used up from other projects, and look how wonderful this all looks together. I love the quilting design that you put on it as well. I don't know if you do your own long arming or quilting, whatever. I like the design you used on that. Looks really, really nice. Beautiful. Danae has a vintage violets all done, and she has hers all done. It's quilted and bound. You're farther along than I am, Danae. She says, I quilted with a serpentine stitch, used a mauve colored thread. The background is a medium colored muslin, and I used the rest of the fat quarters to make the scrappy binding. It's 53 by 70. Thank you for finding a quick, easy pattern for a striking quilt. Yeah, I just love this little pattern, and your blocks look awesome. Love the muslin. Looks very buttery in color. I love using muslin as well. Looks great. And then the last one we have is from Vicky. She also has a vintage violet. She has her top finished, and she said she had ordered a fat quarter bundle from Timeless Treasures. It's called Shizuka by I don't know if I can pronounce this designer's name. Chong Huang. She says she'd ordered the fabric before she saw my video on this project and knew immediately what she was going to do with it. So she don't know how she's going to back it yet, but the top is done. Yeah, this is beautiful. I love the fabric line and the aqua that you chose to use as your background pieces. Goes really good with the teals that are popping out in the flowers there. Looks really good, really good. Okay, so there we go. Thank you everyone for doing such a great job on your projects and being willing to send them in for our Finish It Friday. And I'm happy that everyone has been busy on some of the recent projects that I've had on the channel as well. That's always thrilling, as well as everything else you all are interested in doing. I love to see all of that creativity here on the show, as does everyone else that watches. So keep sending those in. I think I've almost dwindled down to where I need to ask for more photos. I think I have, at the moment, I have 3 or 4 left from when I asked before, so I could use a few more for next week. If you want to send something in, you've never sent anything in before, or if you're one of the old faithfuls that's sewing all the time like I am, please send your finishes in for next week and the following weeks as well. Pay attention to the guidelines in the description box. blocks. Also, I wanted to mention that Monday, when I said I wasn't doing any more large projects, I didn't mean that I wasn't going to do any large projects, because we have our sew along coming up from the Craftsy pattern. So there's a new link now for the Craftsy subscription. If you want to, go on there for that $1.49 and get you a subscription so that you can download all those patterns, go ahead and do that. There's a new link for that. So that'll change every month. But the commercial itself that I did is going to stay the same. And I will probably have to run that next week, probably on Wednesday, if not Monday. So if you want to skip through the commercial, it's coming up in the next two videos, one of the two. So there's that, and I will have my blocks of the week, blocks of the month projects that I'm working on currently. I'll keep those going, and then I'll be picking out another small project to do for next week, and maybe have a Wednesday video on that if I don't have something else come up that I want to make a video on. So I hope you're getting your small projects out too and knocking those out before the end of the year. I probably won't knock out all of mine, but I would like to make a pretty big dent in those if I could. So happy sewing this weekend. Get in there and get your projects out and get some sewing done this weekend if you can. It's probably too hot or too rainy to be doing anything else in this part of the world. If you're in the United States, it's hot everywhere, or raining or storming or something. So as it is in the wintertime when it's cold and you can't be outside, well, it's hot here, so we have to do the same type of things. So a good opportunity to knock out some projects. All right, have a good one, and I will see you back here on Monday Quilt Chat. Okay, bye-bye.